time, so it is about 5:15. Typically, we eat anywhere between like 5:30, right, Kennedy? So I've got 2 helpers here today, and we are cooking 1 pot beef stroganoff. You guys are gonna love how easy it is. Chop it up, chop it up, chop it up, chop it up.
And stop it!
Also in today's video, I'm going to show you how I kind of modify our family's meal plan to cater to picky eaters and people who are trying to eat maybe a little healthier than others, and cater to people who are maybe trying to eat different dietary needs is what we'll call it. First thing we need to do, there's a few substitutions. Let's go over the substitutions first. I think going through this is gonna help you think through recipes that you're cooking at home for your family and how you can substitute out ingredients to help you save money so you can buy things that are on sale. More importantly, use things that you already have in your fridge, freezer, and pantry at home and use that up first before you go buy something else. So we need some pasta. So it calls for rotini pasta, but pretty much any pasta recipe, you can use whatever you have at home. Then we need salt and pepper. It calls for sour cream, but did you know that plain Greek yogurt and sour cream can be substituted pretty evenly across, and Greek yogurt actually has protein in it, so it's going to be really great substitute. It's more expensive, but this is what we have at home. It calls for a 1/2 cup of diced onion, so I'm just going to substitute for like 1.5 teaspoons of onion powder, because that's what I have. It calls for 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. I do have this stuff in the fridge, but I'm just going to use garlic powder. Hi, bud. I'm just gonna use garlic powder, probably like 1 teaspoon to 2 teaspoons. Then ground beef, you could use ground turkey, you could use ground pork, whatever you want. It calls for cream of mushroom, some beef broth, you could use bone broth if that's what you have, or chicken broth, or vegetable broth. It's gonna taste best with beef broth, right? But use what you have and make do. And then it calls for 2% milk, but we're just gonna use whatever milk we have at home. So if I had skim milk, I would use skim milk. If I had cream, that would taste delish. But a lot of times, if the recipe calls for cream, that's a more expensive ingredient. You can just sub it out for whatever milk you have at home. It's not gonna be as creamy and as decadent, but it's still gonna get the job done and feed your family and save you money. Okay, let's start cooking. All right, we need to head over to the pot because this is a 1-pot meal, which means here it is. We already have it preheating, so first thing we need to do is we actually need the ground beef. Can you grab the ground beef? Now be careful because that pot is hot. And what we want, this is my very favorite spatula. My brother Josh got me these for Christmas when we were first married, probably, how long ago? A long time ago.
There's water in there.
So it's okay. Anyways, it's a bamboo spatula.
This is wet.
Yeah, because we just washed it. I like this angle. Anyways, it works great. Okay, now make sure you don't tip it over until you're over the pot, okay? Okay, dump it in, and Mav's gonna cook it up for us.
I'm gonna drop the bag.
Make sure it's going into the pot.
I'm weak. I'm weak.
Good job. Okay, now chop it up, chop it up,
Chop it up.
chop it up, chop it up. The other cool thing about this ingredient is, so it calls for ground beef in the recipe, but if you were to look up like another beef stroganoff recipe, it might call for like skirt steak or something like that. Sub it out for ground beef, way cheaper. Again, not quite as delicious, but feeds your family and saves your money. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is not like the other. Who put this?
That was me.
Right here. Okay, let's check on our ground beef. Ground beef is looking good. So you do want to make sure that you cook out all of the pink out of your ground beef. But this is actually going to cook even longer once we add in the rest of the ingredients. So we're just going to call this good. So I'm going to turn the heat down to low. All of my helpers already left me. They got distracted by playing basketball outside. Okay, Kennedy, I'm adding in the cans. So we're gonna add in the cream of mushroom. Kennedy asked to be able to add that in. Good, good job. Mav, good job. Thank you. Let me see what, here, keep doing what you were doing. Let me see what you got going on over here. Not quite, almost. Would you like some help with that, bud? Okay, now we're adding in 1 can of beef broth. Good. Stir it up. Then we are just gonna add 1 can of milk. We're gonna add a little salt and pepper. Tip, put things away after you are done using them, because then you don't have a big giant mess to clean up when you're all done. We're gonna do our substitution. I just eyeball it. If the kids were in here helping me, I would have them use the measuring spoons so they can get used to reading a recipe using the ingredients. I'm gonna put these away. They're not in here. I'm just gonna eyeball it. So the last thing we need to add, 2.5 cups of pasta. Here we go. 1, 2, and a half-ish. Okay, so you can see that everything was done in here. We cooked the meat. We added all these ingredients. The only ingredient that is not in here currently is the Greek yogurt or the sour cream. That gets put in at the very end. So now this just gets to bubble and simmer for like 15 minutes. Then we add the yogurt in and it's done. Okay, so while this is heating up, I promised you some tips on how to cater to the picky eaters. So this 1 pot beef stroganoff is a meal that all 3 of my picky eaters, they really enjoy. It's actually super delicious. I usually double the recipe because our family will eat so much of it. But hubby and I are trying to eat more of a whole ingredient based diet currently. So we will, my plan for myself is to eat maybe about a small portion of, or a small serving of the beef stroganoff. But then I'm going to fill the rest of my plate with a big yummy salad, and I'm just gonna use turkey lunch meat to add protein to that salad. So I'm getting the protein, I'm getting some carbs, I'm getting some fat, you know, kind of the whole spectrum, and the kids will have some fruit with theirs. All right, it's starting to simmer. Give it a little stir, and then put the lid on it, and get back to salad making. It's a paper plate kind of night. We don't need any hate comments about the paper plates. We're just gonna use them, okay? Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. It's a paper plate night. Alrighty, let's take a look. Oh, it smells delicious. Wow. Smells delicious. So let's take a look. I'm gonna show you what we're looking for here. So really, you're just gonna cook this. Oh no, you're all steamed up. Sorry about that. You are looking for the noodles to get pretty soft. But you can see how a lot of the liquid has kind of cooked down. I think we're close. It takes about 15 minutes. So this is, I mean, such a great recipe for a busy night. Oh yeah, you can see it. We gotta do a taste test, but it's really hot.
Oh, let me try.
Mmm.
Can you
Oh yeah, I burn my mouth on this every time. Okay, it's done. Kennedy wants a little taste test herself. We gotta. This would also be a really easy recipe to add big chunks of veggies in. Doesn't that sound delicious? There you go. Pasta. Is it good?
good and hot?
And hot. The last thing we have to do is just add in our Greek yogurt, aka sour cream.
How do you
Just
like my
gonna do-
tartar shot?
Yeah, Kennedy just made that yesterday, huh? Just about a spoonful. A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. Then we just mix it in, mix it in. And then you can taste it and add salt and pepper if you need. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. So here we go. That's the final product. You can put some fresh parsley on it, add some veggies if you wanted. You do you. Whatever works for your family. We were having this conversation with my parents the other day. Do you, I wanna know, do you serve up plates for your family, or do you do it like buffet style and put all the food on the table and everyone just kind of feeds themselves? We still have, you know, younger kids. I think it would be smart. I think it would be smart to have them serve themselves. That's good for like portion control and, you know, they get to choose, that kind of stuff. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of like mental psychology behind that, but for now, I dish it up for them. We're just showing you how it is. I'm just showing you how our family eats. I'm not getting out the fancy plates, keeping things real, because that's what friends do. I show you what's real. I'm not trying to put on a front, you know? Okay, now nobody freak out. I'm gonna show you my portion. But again, you do you, I'll do me. Trying to fill up on the greens and the turkeys. This would be a high carb, high fat meal. So I'm just trying my best to learn how to nourish my body with healthy ingredients, okay? So voila. Got my pasta and my salad. All right. That is our cook with me, super easy, super fast meal for those busy nights. And I shared tons of tips with you on how to alter recipes that you might be using in your family's kitchen to accommodate the foods that you already have in your fridge, freezer, and pantry, the things that are on sale. All of these things are gonna help you save money. So if you have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments. And I wanna know, do you serve your dinner buffet, family style? Or do you serve it individually per plate? Let's chat about that down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button. We share videos every week helping families make the most of their time together at home. And if you liked this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. That helps us out a lot, and it helps us even more if you share the video. Just click that little share icon and post it on your Instagram. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.